So Tory voters out there and many of the public in general will be going, hurrah, at long last we have the highest taxes since World War II. What took you so long? The big question is, do you think it will actually happen?
Well, there's no doubt that it should happen. Part of the reason we've seen this increase in headroom is because of the stealth taxes, the frozen thresholds, which are eating up everybody's pay rises. And people have been struggling over the last couple of years, and it's about time there was a giveaway.
Absolutely. People are getting hammered in inflation, hammered with tax, hammered in interest rates. They need some crumbs of comfort. And electorally, the Tories, the party of low tax, or at least they were, sure do they have to do this to have even a sniff of winning the next general election?
You're absolutely right. And I think voters will reward any party willing to ease the burden, as it were. Like you say, we're labouring under a 70-year high tax burden at the moment, and now Jeremy Hunt has twice the amount of fiscal headroom he thought he'd have back in March. As a result of that, he could use just half of that to, for instance, cut the basic rate of income tax by 1 pence. That would make a huge difference to people's lives and their ability to make ends meet, and he should get on and do it.
Well, Conor, we had Sir John Redwood on the show earlier, traditional low-tax Tory. He was saying cut VAT to 5% on domestic fuel, cut VAT on petrol and fuel. What kind of tax incentives do you think the British public would warm to?
Well, I mentioned the frozen thresholds, and the income tax thresholds were actually frozen by Rishi Sunak when he was Chancellor. And it means that when people are getting their pay rises, more and more of their pay is becoming taxable and taxable at higher rates as well. So what we're actually seeing is a lot of people paying levels of tax which were originally reserved for the wealthiest few. So I think in terms of incentivizing people into work and incentivizing people to go for that promotion and to work that bit harder, I think unfreezing those thresholds would be a great place to start.
Now, Conor, of course, a lot of people, the doom mongers, might say, well, this would just lead to soaring inflation. It would be economic suicide to do so. What would you say to that?
I think there's two key points on inflation. Firstly, I mean, inflation is partly driven by massive amounts of government spending. So if we have to choose between excess government spending and giving people a well-deserved, well-earned, well-needed tax break, I think we'll go for the latter. The other point is that, as I've said, as we all know, people are struggling with the cost of living crisis. They're struggling to heat their homes, struggling to pay their food bills. If you gave people an income tax giveaway, they're not just going to suddenly go out and be splashing it about town. They're going to be paying their bills. They're going to be paying for their food shops. They're already having to do that, and let's help them do it.